today we're going to be talking about the books I read this summer. Summer is almost over, you guys. We are getting closer to those burr months. I cannot wait for fall, although I live in Florida and I don't really get to experience the fall season. A girl can dream, right? All right, so let's get started. Okay, you guys, so let's look over the books that I've read for the month of June 1st. A couple of these books I don't have physically with me, but I'll show you. I dropped my phone. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, so a couple of the books I don't have physically, but I did read them in Kindle or audiobook. The first book I read for the month of June was Silver Elite by Dani Francis. This book was the first book I've read by this author. It was like, to me, it was like the opposite of Powerless. Like, you know, if you have powers, you are the one who's like being hunted and going through it in society. I gave Silver Elite a 4.2 stars. I don't know, maybe I was being like city with my stars, but it was fun. But I felt like it took its time and I didn't really fall in love with like the male, like the relationship of the characters. So that's kind of why I went like lower on the 4-star range. It was clearly setting us up for like a bigger story, so I can understand that this being the first book, but a lot of it didn't feel resolved, or it just kind of felt like it fell short for me. I don't know. My opinion. You guys can leave in the comments below like what you thought of this book. Like, if did you give it a 5-star? Was it a 5-star for you? Was it on the lower end? Leave your ratings down below for these books, guys. The next book I read for the month of June was Watch Me by Tara Maffey. Look at this book. This book is gorgeous. I absolutely love the Shatter Me series. And although I was kind of like hesitant to pick this one up because I was like, okay, it's not gonna be about like our main characters from Shatter Me. It's gonna be about James. James is older now. Like, how is this gonna look? But no way. This book definitely was a 5-star for me, y'all. Like, for this book, the female main character is completely the opposite of Juliet. Like, I feel like she's strong and fierce. And although Juliet grew to be strong and fierce and not be so afraid of herself, she is not afraid of herself. So this one picks up a couple years after the end of Shatter Me, and James is older. He is trying to prove himself to everyone else that he is grown, and he goes off and tries to infiltrate what is left of the organization of bad guys, which I completely forgot the name of. I'm sorry. Essentially, he gets caught. He meets this girl, and you already know it's gonna be an enemies to lovers, and it's super interesting. You guys pick it up. I really enjoyed it. I cannot wait to continue the series because it was fun. It was a super quick read, as all her books are. I absolutely love her writing. The third book I read in the month of June was Big Time by Ben H. Winters. This book, I thought it'd be more like You're Running Out of Time, like the movie where time is a currency. Like, that's really the thoughts I have for this book, but it's really not. This book is actually more like she's a writer and she gets abducted. One of them gets abducted. Basically, they are siphoning years of life from people to give to other people, if that makes sense. And it was very confusing. But I did finish it, and I gave this book a 3.25 read. I like sci-fi, but for some reason, just this didn't hit for me, and it wasn't what I expected, quite frankly. The fourth book I read in the month of June was First Time Caller. Now, I don't typically read contemporary romances, but this one I read it in because the cover was so pretty, and I loved it. It was fun. It was quick. I like the banter between the characters. So basically, it's a radio show, and they're trying to find love for her, but of course, you know how that ends up with the radio host. But the story is super cute, super sweet, and a fun read. I gave First Time Caller a 4.5 stars, which is great because I don't really read contemporary romance. I'm more into the romantasy and fantasy books, and the fact that it got a 4.5 stars for me, being a contemporary romance, is good. The fifth and final book I read in the month of June was The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Lavenseller. I've read her previous books, Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Pirate of the Siren Queen from her, and they're like fun light reads. This one has some spice in it. She is looking to marry the king and get rid of him, but he's a shadow man. He's a shadow man. Yep, that's all you need to know. I gave this book a 4 stars. Okay, so for the month of July, in July, I didn't read as much books as I did in June, but we're still read. First off, we did an audiobook for Emma on 83rd Street. I had a buddy read with Jenny that is from Bookstagram. This one is a contemporary romance as well. Like I said, it's hard for me to really get into contemporary romances. So with that one, I gave this book a 3 stars. And I'm sorry, and maybe it was more like me being biased because I didn't like the female main character. She seemed like a little too immature, like even in her 20s. I'm in my 20s and I don't think like that. So like I felt like, girl, get it together, please grow up, what is happening? But what I'm trying to say is that maybe that was due to that, and maybe I was a little biased and I just didn't like her, and that's why like, but anyways, everybody's opinion is their opinion, so if you liked it, drop it in the comments. Next up for the month of July, I read The Traitor Queen by Daniela Jensen. This is book 2 of the Bridge Kingdom, and it is fast-paced. It picks up right where the first one left off. I'm not going to spoil anything from this book because I don't know if you read the first one. For this one, I gave this a 4 stars. I don't know if I'm going to continue on. It was quick paced and it was fun, but at the same time, I just can't connect with the characters. And to me, it's like I have to care for the characters and I have to care about the relationship. And for some reason, this book fell short. Bridge Kingdom, amazing. But for this one, it just kind of fell short for me. Wait, I forgot one of the books. So next up for the month of July is a 5-star read. Yes, you friends, we found a 5-star read, A Forbidden Alchemy. This book, look how gorgeous this is. This is a unique magic system. They basically have, again, it's alchemy. Like they get powers from drinking a vial, but it's very favored for the upper class. Like a certain amount of people get to have the vials that actually give you powers, and everyone else is given normal vials, which just makes you be like a crafter, which is like the lower class, living in the slums, unfortunately. And then the higher class have powers such as like, I don't know how to, like, I'm just gonna say how I know how to say it. It's like fire bending, water bending, and earth bending. Essentially all the elements from the Avatar. And you go as like 12-year-old kids to go get your vials. And again, it is rigged. It is rigged. Like if you're from a certain province, you're not gonna get a vial that has like the ability. It goes on, they grow up, there's a revolution. It's so much. And it's like it says fated mates, but a fated pair, but it's not fated pair like fated mates. It's more like it's been years and they find each other again. And this book like takes after like Peaky Blinders, so it has that vibe, and I love that vibe. Also by Stacey McEwen, because this book made me want to read all her books. It is Ledge. Okay, again, Ledge. Ledge is the first book of a trilogy. This is book 1 of the Glacian trilogy. In this book, she is fierce. She is strong. I imagine her like Merida, but with black hair. And she lives on the Ledge, which is basically a civilization that has been put to live between a chasm and a steep slope. And it's super cold. They're like in the highest peak. And I'm not sure if it's once a year or a certain amount of time that these winged creatures who have like humanoid forms, but they can turn their toes into like claws, come and sweep them up for like a selection, and then they bring them to their glacial throne to never be seen again. So she is one of the selected, and then she manages to get an escape, and he's to hunt her down, and instead he protects her, and y'all have to keep reading this book. By the time this video is out, I should be done with this book, but of course already I know it's gonna be above a 4 stars. And those are all the books I read in summer. Comment down below what books you read in summer. I want to know. I want to see more recommendations. Like, do we have similar tastes? Are our ratings completely off? I wanna know it all. Drop it down in the comments, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me to know, like, to make more videos like this, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye.